We're now on the record.
Right, so I'll call the meeting to order. And we will let the presentation for Empire Liberty Estates. Okay, so I'll take a minute to introduce myself. I'm Jim Prater. I'm a lifelong resident of Walton, born and raised. Also, I'm the managing partner for Empire Metalworks in Walton. None of you are familiar with us, but about 80 employees and looking to expand. With me, I have my father, John Frainer, who is also a business partner in this endeavor, hopefully. And also one of the guests is our Village of Walton Mayor, Bjork. So, the reason why I'm here is it was brought to my attention, we have this space in Walton, the Sheffield Estates, which the IDA has possession of. And I know that you guys have been wanting to put in some sort of manufacturing facility. You can all agree that manufacturing is the lifeblood of a community. One of the problems that I've had in experience, I also have a rental company, Empire Liberty Holdings. I'm the largest property owner in the village. I have 122 units, all of them are full, and I get phone calls every day, people looking for good housing. And good housing just does not exist right now in Walton. So by bringing manufacturing into the community, it's a great thing, but there's another underlying problem with the lack of housing. So this property right now is overgrown, it's kind of dilapidated, has some hazards, and I'd like to develop it. And that's my plan and what you have in front of you. I guess we could work our way through it. There's the pretty slides, but what we're trying to do is do professional housing that will bring professional people in. There's a hospital expansion that's coming up. I think they're looking at hiring 450 people. Not everybody's gonna fit into a certain group, but some people are gonna be like, well, where am I gonna live? And that historically has been a problem, both for my business expansion. I've heard it from like Talos Craft and now from the hospital. So if you, I want to say it'd be slide 3 is an actual model. We've had an engineering team turn and work on this. That model fits on the existing foundations that are already there. I know that there's a decade-old drawing floating around putting in duplexes. And I hired Herman Engineering to go over this whole thing and put together an accurate representation. That model wouldn't really work, but the model that I'm showing you does work. It could put in 23 more units. There's existing wetland on the property and wooded area. That wooded area is a nice buffer for the rest of the community. We would not touch those wetland areas. The lady over here asked earlier, do we meet the setbacks for the wetlands? This drawing meets all village and state code. There might be some little tweaking once we get an actual survey where some things would have to move a little bit, but there's room for that. It's not overly crowded. And it leaves all the existing wooded areas, that is a nice green space. I'll flip to the next slide. We got strategic timing. I made some heavy emphasis on the hospital. The hospital just recently purchased 2 acres from us at Empire Metal to build on. And they're definitely moving forward, and they have a 3-year plan. And you know, this is a 5-year phase plan, which we'll go over later. But it is going to create demand on top of the demand that's already there. Who will live there? I'm just trying to answer questions that I anticipate you guys asking. So traveling healthcare professionals, visiting medical faculty and interns, young professionals and executives, not necessarily from the hospital, but maybe from Lactalis or what other business decides to come to town. And I heard a complaint from, you know, my generation of, well, I'd like to move back to Walton. I have the means, but there's really not a lot of nice places to live. Community impact. Obviously, there's new residents will shop at local shops, cafes, gym, salon services, they'll spend their money here. The increased tax revenue, that's something that I know that, our mayor can, sympathize with. There's only so many dated Victorians that can be cut up and made into an apartment or a house, and it just does not fit every person. And without growth, we're not helping support the infrastructure that's in our community. Obviously, there's job opportunities, construction jobs, property management roles, maintenance, cleaning, that sort of thing. The next slide is enhancing Walton's image. So I know in the past, there's been an idea of maybe putting a trailer park or something like that in here. And for lack of better words, yes, there's always a buck for every seat, but I'm not sure that that's something that we need in the village. It kind of broadcasts a different image that maybe we don't want, but a modern design built of modern building code is energy efficient. We can all agree that that's a good thing. The two pictures that you see there that are kind of small are actual renditions that we dropped into a background. That's what you would see when you drive down the street. Houses, that house right there. It's a duplex. It's a 3 on one side, 3 on the other. The front has a garage that can be configured as a garage or like a family room. But that's an actual architectural design that we've already picked out. It fits this, and I think it's attractive. The next slide kind of reiterates what I just said. However, there is a map in front of you guys here. I don't know if you want to slide that down. You can take a look at the mapping. It's not overly crammed. It shows that that we're not encroaching on the wetlands, and that it kind of gives a nice neighborhood feel. That was never included in any this chunk. That chunk right there is Renrest. That's the building supply company.
Okay.
Yeah. So that encompasses the whole 12.5 acres or so.
Yep.
What I do like about it is in other construction projects that I've had, and I've had many, both in Oneonta and in Walton, is it's always that not in my backyard thing, and I get that. Wetlands are always an issue. People love trees, people like their good views. By doing something like this, we're really enhancing the area. We're not cutting that stuff down. We're not filling in those wetlands or applying for permits or trying to do that. We're keeping existing drainage and really just transforming this overgrown space that right now is a hazard. I don't know if anybody on the board has been out to the space, but Glenn, you've been out to the space. Right now, there's snow fence wrapped around foundations that are filled with leaves and water and are a hazard. So we would like to alleviate that. Long-term benefits, a couple things to point out: resident retention, positive attention from regional developers and businesses. The IDA is here to bring in business, right? At least that's how I see it. It's hard to attract the managers and the decision makers if there's nowhere for them to live or to stay. When we have people come to town, we were recently renting 12,000 square feet of our space to a company from Canada that's making a significant investment in our building, and they just hired 5 people. We send them to Oneonta because the motel is maybe not the greatest place to stay for an executive. So we send them to Oneonta. They recently said, hey, can you look for us? We'd like to buy something in the area just so when we're down, we have a place to go to. Well, I think there's like 4 places on the MLS and 3 out of 4 are pretty rough. I guess that's kind of a micro idea of what we're going with here, but it's a theme that I hear over and over again. The next slide is they call it the call to partnership. So the idea is not just to build a bunch of homes, throw them up for sale and let it go. It's to do something that actually benefits the community long-term. It's something where, we've talked with the Walton Village Board and the mayor and the town board, and maybe I'll hand that over to you, BJ, but we have their support. Can you think of it?
Absolutely. Yesterday I spoke with Joe Setta on in a phone call in reference to this in particular. We're both on board with making this happen. This is definitely something that's gonna embellish the look of Walton. It's gonna take us out of, building a lot of, low-income housing and bring a lot of professional housing. That's definitely gonna help out, especially with all the embellishments the village is starting to see, everything from Dunkin' Donuts to the Sheffield, Walton Pond, being turned into a resort. We have DVH being turned into a four-story structure that's gonna require a lot of these kind of housing. So this is something definitely, that we're gonna need. Lac House is getting 15 million to do embellishments to their property, which is also gonna require professional housing. We're not gonna be able to put all these people, I mean, we're looking at close to, I would say, $30 million being dumped into Walton over the next 4 years, 5 years. That's gonna require, housing to accommodate these people and professionals come to this area. If we don't have housing for these professionals, we're gonna lose professionals, and then the quality of life and everything's gonna come downhill in Walton. So we need to see, accommodations come in to meet all, aspects of life in Walton. I think this is a great thing.
Moving forward, so kind of more of the meat and potatoes of this, there's not a slide for it, but what am I asking of the IDA? I just want to buy the property and develop it. We've gone through some phases, we've gone through some timelines that are here. It's self-funded. Some of that is funding from the sale of the hospital, some of that funding is from our partnership group. And we can self-fund this. We can make it happen. It's a 4 to 5 year plan. If we look at the phase of the timeline, phase 0, I call it, which is, immediately, that's this year. If we could take possession of this property, we would clear the land of the overgrown mess that's there. We would stabilize the hazards, and we would do an environmental and utility assessment, meaning bring my engineering crew in, the firm that I use, and say, okay, what's the best route for helping with the village, doing their village sewer, their village water? How are we going to build these roads to meet village specs so that eventually they could be turned over to the village? That would happen immediately. I have in there that it's an investment of $30,000. That investment of $30,000, I also own a construction company. I have 5 people full-time, plus I employ 3 or 4 other part-time private contractors that I use regularly. So yeah, there's some investment there. A lot of that is gonna be done with my crew. Phase 1, so starting in 26, we'll be building on those existing foundations. So part of phase 0 is going to be capping those existing foundations, getting those cleaned up. I've already had Herman Engineering out, and they said, yeah, we can build on these. This is not a problem. They need to be cleaned up. So we go out, we clean up those foundations, clean up around them, clean up inside them. They're holding water. And we put a deck on them so that the debris and the waters aren't getting inside those. That way in 26, we can come in, we can start building out lots 1 through 4. On the mapping, it's where the existing foundations are. So that creates basically 8 duplexes. And a little bit less than the budget there because there is the existing foundations. So that helps a little bit. Phase 2 would be what we're calling the south center block, which is kind of that center area there. That would be in 27, get those 5 places built, get that up and running. It also gives you a time to really assess demand. So if demand is there, maybe you accelerate. If demand is not there, maybe you decelerate a little bit. I've always said that with the problem with public money is public money needs to be spent with the precision of private money. So in this case, since it is private money, it's coming out of our pockets, and that's an important thing, that it's going to be managed as wisely as possible. So then it says, well, how do you know what you're doing? Well, I've been in this business for 15 years now. Had great success in Oneonta, came back to Walton because it's where I wanted to be, and had great success there. We're good at this. Phase 3 is continuing construction, kind of doing the east center lot, or southeast lot, which is kind of the 5 more homes over by where that first cul-de-sac is. And then phases 4 and 5, again, are based on demand and building out kind of the north area there. Let's hope that, demand is there. like it is. But there is the ability to say, okay, we're not gonna overextend ourselves here, we're gonna finish what we have going, and then we can move on. Total investment in the end, after 5 years with incidentals, because nothing ever goes as planned. It's like a $5.5 million investment, with the village, not asking for any tax breaks, want to pay my tax burden. I believe that the village provides an absolutely essential role, you know, with their infrastructure that they have. So I'm not looking to take away from that at all. Just want to move forward with the project. So I have.
Okay, are there any questions from the board? And I know you guys came, Bjorn, do you want to say anything?
I really hope that this is, looked at carefully and moves forward. I think this is something, I mean, we've been sitting on this property for how long now? We had the houses put up there. When were those houses put on? It was well before Bryson.
6-ish, I think, is when the foundations went in.
So we're sitting on almost 20 years later before something happens. So I mean, clearly we don't need trailers or anything of that nature. I mean, we have enough low income housing and stuff like that in the village. I think we definitely need something that's gonna be more accommodating to the professional. I think we don't have anything like that.
So there's also some intricacies here that Glenn, you and I have touched on. One, the existing places that are there, not exactly maintained well. We're prepared to say, okay, we're maintaining this whole complex. We'll take over the areas that they are not maintaining. That was one. Number two is let's address the deed issue right off the fact that it's deeded as industrial. So I've talked to my legal counsel on that. And as long as the two previous owners can sign off on that deed restriction can be lifted. So we have one previous owner who is deceased. We have another previous owner sitting in front of us. So if you guys sign off on that, then we can move forward.
Just one, oh, sorry.
I'm Noel from Sydney. I'm working on actually a similar project in Sydney. So it's interesting to me. So I'm not sure if you said, I'm sorry, but are these for sale? Or are you gonna be, are they for lease, property management?
These are gonna be leases and long-term rentals.
Okay. Gotcha. And are they manufactured homes or are they
No,
manufactured?
They'll be manufacturing, they'll be all stick built.
And stick bolt construction will get you in at 700,000 for 4 units.
Yes.
At $360 a square foot for new construction is what I was quoted recently.
Okay, that's what you were quoting. This is with me doing it myself and not labor.
I'm just curious.
I just did one on Cherry Street in Oneonta. It was a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom. It was 2,200 square feet. I was all in, beautiful home, rented already at 101,000 was my cost.
Wayne, you had a question?
Noel asked my question, so thank you, Noel. Thank you.
Sure.
And that's one of those things where, that could possibly change. You know, if we get into this and we say, hey, you have offers from potential renters saying, hey, we'd like to purchase the property, then we're open to that as well. But the existing business model would be, doing rentals, long-term leases, that sort of thing. We were having a discussion on the way up, and I bought a couple places in Oneonta that were rough, and we rehabbed them. And like Corning Glass, they bring managers in from Corning to work in Oneonta. They were doing the Airbnb thing, and they said, hey, we'd like to rent this place. We rented to them 5 years long-term. After the 5 years, they said, hey, we love the property. It's all set up. We paid for everything that's inside as far as furniture goes. Would you be interested in selling it to us? We'd like to keep it. And at that point, it was like, all right, well, rather than finding another tenant because they're gonna come up with something else, they made a fair offer and I sold it.
And would they be sold as townhouses or with property around?
They would be sold with property around them, you know, they would basically split equally.
Single?
Yeah, what makes sense?
This would definitely appeal to like the residents living in that area as well. I know Sean was at that public hearing meeting that we had just recently. But I mean, you heard, they said everybody doesn't want industry there. They don't want to look out their backyard and see, you know, masonry walls, 20 feet, 40 feet tall, and trucks going up and down Bruce Street and stuff like that, so. This will definitely, appeal to everybody on Bruce Street and also the people living on Tulip Avenue as well, so.
And Walton already has an industrial park that hasn't seemed to develop very well at all. So I would kind of throw that ball back into the IDA's court. Is this something that you want to deal with the remediation? Put money into out of your funds? For the hopes that maybe you'll get something, or, let's move with something that really supports your endeavor, which is bringing the housing.
You don't need anything from us?
No, I don't think.
I don't program.
I really don't know what's available.
You might.
I would love to involve you, but.
Want some bonds?
I mean, if you're heading your mouth, you can send them to the.
I don't really know if the IDA offers that way. I don't like to go into a plan and saying, oh, this would work if I could get, we're fully prepared to move forward ourselves and work through this online as a realistic and accurate time.
So the duplex units, do you put a block wall between the units?
Yes, it has to be fire.
Or, yeah,
Bjorn can attest to the other projects that I've done in Walton. We start projects, we finish projects in a timely manner. And I'll give the example of Benton Ave. Benton Ave, Bruce, you're familiar with Benton Ave. It's the worst street in Walton. It was full of drug activity, rundown houses. Nobody wanted to invest anything on that side of town. I drove down the street, there was a bunch of houses that could potentially be for sale with great architecture, and I was like, let's give it a shot. We're 4 houses in now. That end of the street, I think, is a very attractive end, and you can throw your 2 cents in on that. But now I'm renting to professionals. I'm getting good money, good return on my investment. And when I drive by, I'm like, man, I should rename that street Empire Ave, not Benton, because it looks great. It really does. And the neighbors are happy about it, because there are some nice houses towards the church.
Jim, I just want to go back to the ownership structure. You mentioned having like a long-term lease or like tenants, like owning it, like you would almost like manage the property, but then you also mentioned maybe potentially selling them on a piece of land, so.
What I'm saying, when I say selling it on a piece of land, I'm saying I'm not opposed to the idea. I haven't planned for it. Toss the idea around of being open to it. But I don't necessarily have a plan for how would selling go. What I found, and I do get some, middle-aged professionals that rent from me, and I ask them, why do you rent? Why do you pay $1,700-1,800 a month to rent a house when you can certainly afford one? And they say, I don't want to deal with maintenance. I don't want to deal with coming home from work and mowing my lawn or dealing with snow. And when the roof leaks, you come and fix it. That's why I kind of think that the long-term lease with us doing the maintenance is appealing to.
yeah, we're actually looking at the same, but we're looking at a hybrid structure, so we have houses for sale that, well, we don't yet, but talking about houses for sale and then a separate section that would be like a condo type, so you actually have owners, but there's property management, you pay an HOA,
Sure.
some structural.
And I can honestly say that I'm not well versed in that structure of business, because everything that I have now, I own, I maintain, I rent or lease, and that's how it goes. Rarely do I sell anything. Sometimes when the opportunity arises, it's like, sure, yeah, I'll sell.
So that's kind of sort of the structure that you're presenting,
Yeah, I think so.
that there would be, common open space similar to the last failed project is,
Similar.
not that that's,
Yeah,
How big is this?
so if that wasn't the case, then that open space would be a shared ownership of all the, well, because he would rent that. You'd be, so it wouldn't be that format. You're saying, I'm gonna own it, I'm gonna rent individual units, they're gonna be tenants, they're gonna come and go.
correct.
So down the road, then you wouldn't be able to say, oh, I'm gonna sell that one to this guy.
Well, I could,
So,
if I subdivide it and I have it structured beforehand, with, kind of the townhouse structure. When I say the open green space, there's areas there that, could, by the cul-de-sac, that could potentially, would be made into a green space, maybe it's a playground or a park, or just maybe even a pavilion. The point that we turn the roads over to the village, we say, okay, here's your park as well. That's.
Does this pick up everything that we have at Sheffield?
It does.
We're not left with anything? Okay.
Well, we would still own the one townhome, but I would be willing to
You
sell
gotta
that
own
to
that
him
too.
as well.
Well, your new.
You're not gonna throw it in?
That's travel guys for it.
How's your code guy doing? Like you got a letter from him?
In regards to the snow fences and the foundations. Yeah,
I don't know, all I saw was the letter that said there was some remedial work.
Yeah.
that needed to be done.
Yeah, but so, just addressing that, so I talked with Bjorn and Zach, the code enforcement officer, about the feasibility or difficulties involved in completely addressing the issue, i.e. tearing the foundations out. Where we were, this was before Jim had approached us, and they agreed that if we went out and put the snow fencing back around the foundation, so it's a visual, warning that, not to go past that. And Lindsay and I did that last Friday. And so Bjorn thanked us for that, and Zach did as well.
Was that
So-
challenging with the overgrowth?
Well, when you have someone like Lindsay on your staff, nothing's challenging.
Farm girl.
I was gonna say.
Glenn came back with a busted hand, missed the post only 4 times, it's fine.
I only counted 3 times.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Did you wear your service boots from Frazier?
Well, it sounds like a great project. Certainly gonna be good for Walton and, obviously we have the same issues across the county, so, and I know there's various entities working on it, so that's a great project.
There's probably money's available for, so. On infrastructure, I think we get pretty much tied up, right, but. Get infrastructure money
Mhm.
for housing.
there's already infrastructure there too, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, so the infrastructure just comes down to, well, slightly past the second foundation on the John Street side.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to revamp a whole bunch of infrastructure, especially with the Walton Pond going in. There's gonna be a need for connection between West Street and Bird Street for the water as well, so. I mean, this would just be a minor add-on as opposed to a huge add-on when it comes to the grand scheme of things. I mean, we're talking about a lot of work being done in that area.
Mhm.
Which in the long term gets paid for.
Correct. I mean, you're also sitting here with somebody that's gonna be able to finance this and not come back to you in a year and say, we lost your funding. It's a huge plus.
Right. Okay. So Wayne, how do you want to do this? We'll discuss an executive session later and then get back to them with any questions or concerns or answers or next steps.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to approach it. Move it to an executive session discussion, and then we can, any other comments that need to be made off regarding the project can be done, and then we can go from there. Sounds great, though.
Good idea.
Thank you for your time.
Okay.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks. Jim, if you do me a favor though,
Sure.
can you call Farley Creed Herman
Yes,
from Empire State Development?
yeah,
Because she's starting to bug me, to bug you. She just wants to know the budget for the project and then, just the time frame. for it.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, but she called me yesterday at Omar's request. And
Yeah.
Your wife was my, eighth grade teacher, ninth grade teacher.
got 1 year to go.
The only thing I remember is. I remember, because I remember everything, I have a weird memory.
Yeah.
So type A negative blood.
That's,
Is that weird or what?
Great plan, by the way.
Thank you.
See you, Jeff.
Thanks.
Sheriff, for the new sheriff.
Yeah, but we need to talk about that.
That's his, but let's talk about this in executive session. There's not a lot on the table that should be. Yeah, do we wanna move forward with the meeting, then go into executive
So we
session?
do everything.
Yeah. Okay, Lindsay, and you should help. All right, so let's get. All this, so then I can get to the Google Drive on slides and look at that.
What you have with this presentation?
This is. She did it.
Our Gmail?
Yeah,
Like ours?
yeah. That's it. Okay. All right. Okay, so are we ready to move forward?
Yeah, so
Start with the minutes?
the next one was Winkler Road.
Well, we'll go up and do the minutes and then the financials and then work our way down.
All right.
I'm ready whenever.
Okay.
Wait, we're not supposed to be an executive.
No, yeah, we're still.
Yeah, but we're chugging along here. Let's chug.
All right, so. Talk about the financial plan.
Sure.
Or the minutes.
Well, do the minutes first, yeah.
Okay. Do the minutes from the last meeting, or is there a motion on
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
them? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried.
All right, so then on, the treasurer's report, I don't have anything to add on the treasurer's report for either the IDA or LDC. Moving over to the loan report on the IDA, number 5 is, a write-off that is, was done through our last audit. So Tab is doing those journal entries. 6, 7, and 8 were paid off in full through the bankruptcy proceedings. So we're all good on those.
That's outstanding, by the way.
Yeah, that was a good ending to that, and we tried to help. It did work, and we got our money back. So
That's surprising and amazing.
yeah. So 10, 11, and 12, those are our problem loans. I think we mentioned last meeting that our collections attorney has moved on to different employment. We haven't had a chance or any success in finding a successor attorney, but we will still continue to work on that and hopefully be in a better position for our September meeting. On the LDC loan report, Number 10, again, you know, we're a little bit in limbo. We had started the foreclosure process on them. It is listed for sale. We have a first mortgage, but we're still gonna pursue that as soon as we can, find someone to help us out. Number 26, is showing as being behind. Yes, that is true. That's from this winter. Knocking on wood, the last 3 payments have been made on time and in full. And we'll continue that trend, and then we'll start worrying about getting paid back for our others. Let's see, moving down to number 36. That loan was paid off in full, just this week.
Wow.
Yeah, they were a similar thing. They were shutting the business down. We had the first mortgage, they sold the property, and we got paid off. Number 47, you know, that's one that we need. 47, 59, are ones that, again, we're waiting on, some representation for. 84 and 85, you know, they're being problematic. We're working on it. We're being, helpful.
We're being more than helpful.
We're being more than helpful, but that's, you know, ending. And do we have a meeting set with them yet?
No, the last we discussed, we were planning on drafting a letter
Yeah,
to
so,
address these concerns.
yeah, so what happens is they keep bouncing around. They're like, oh, our loan payment is due this date. Oh, could you pull it a week later instead? And then, oh, this other one is due here. Could you pull it this week or 2 weeks or whatever? And then it comes back for non-sufficient funds, and then we gotta do it again. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna request a meeting and just be like, all right, this is enough nonsense, you know. We understand you're selling the property, but until we get there, we need to come up with a firm schedule and payment amounts and figure that out. So that's something we'll handle in-house. We don't need any outside counsel for it.
On 84 would seem to be a pretty large problem. What is our collateral there?
First mortgage
The building.
on the building. And it's worth that. I think it's listed for sale at like 450.
Thank you.
Glenn, you mentioned looking for representation. Do we have any leads on?
Well, to be
someone-
honest, this month has been, you know, kind of, for me, it's been kind of captivated by the DVH project and
Yep.
some management with a different grant, and then our 2 CFAs we're moving forward with. So, you know, the fact that we haven't, I think Lindsay and I had one brief conversation where we were throwing out some names, and I haven't had the time to act on it.
I also think that, it would not hurt by any means for suggestions from our members of the board.
Work with that, I don't know how far we reach, but.
I mean, Glenn will tell you the closer the better, but
Well, it is always our preference to.
It
so,
is.
But we've kind of exhausted our availability of Delaware County legal representation. They keep retiring.
Do we need a real estate
There's
attorney?
some kind of a new group that's split off from Coughlin and Gerhardt. There's 4.
like different branches or,
No, they were like, well, I think they were the municipal team, but McKittrick or something was the attorney for the village of Hancock. Now it's somebody else, but he was the head of the division for Coughlin and Gerhardt, and he and 3 others are split off on their own.
So can you get that information and send it to Glenn?
It's probably.
At least the name, yeah, we can probably locate.
They would be hungry.
the money's not gonna go bad, that's for sure.
Well, they like that.
Right.
And it might end up being a young attorney rather than tell you that.
Now, it's a special.
It's a niche, yeah,
And it's a certain personality.
right,
Yes.
little fire, need a little fire.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So, was there anything else on the loan report?
So just that.
Yeah.
Like, forgot what number, but, it wasn't showing, it was just showing delinquent. Number 47, but are we sending that to an attorney? You mentioned.
It has been, it was, and since we have found out that, said attorney was,
Yeah, so some of these
Well-
accounts were with an attorney.
yeah,
And he's moved on to a different employment. So now we're
Okay.
midway on some and we gotta find somebody else to finish them off.
I mean, but do they go months without? We should probably be sending them a dunning letter or something. to
Yeah.
Let them know that we're still, you know.
So,
not letting it
yes,
go.
we're not letting it go, yeah. We'll make sure we do that in the meantime. So Lindsay, you and I will come up with that list.
Okay, so do we have a motion to accept the report?
Make a motion to accept financial report for the IDA.
Look what in the limit second that.
Oh, I'm there.
I know.
I'm already on it, you might be careful.
Okay, we have a first and second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Carried.
So 4 and 5 would be for executive session. And 6 and 7 are really quick. I can do those. So 6, so we do have 2 outstanding sales contracts out there. 135 Delaware Avenue. I think last time I mentioned we'd agreed to terms, hadn't heard back. I have since heard back. They intend to sign the agreement verbally, but they haven't sent it on paper yet. As far as number 12, that should be coming, very soon. His attorney looked at it, they agreed to move forward and that should be moving forward quickly. Number 7, just FYI, out of the blue, we got contacted, from a prospect, from a real estate development company prospect, interested in purchasing 8 acres of the IDA property on River Street. This is right next, adjacent to the current Sydney Industrial Park. For a commercial/retail-based development. They were just asking for some basic information, which we provided. That was last week. Haven't heard back yet, but so there may be something, some interest in that property, moving forward. So that's just an FYI.
Anything on the EPA property nearby?
Nah, and nah. Nah.
Okay, I was just curious if it came up again. Okay, thank you.
No, there's, sometime next year we'll hear back from the EPA.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we could go into executive session at this point if you wanted.
Okay, do we have a motion to go in executive session? Talk about our names?
Contractual matters
Okay.
for under the IDA.
Well, do we want to do
We'll do that.
two all?
Yeah.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Aye.
Do we have a second? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Second.
Okay, we're back in open session. We're discuss Sheffield's estate. Do we have a motion that needs to be made for Sheffield estate?
I'll make a motion that we authorize Glenn to negotiate a deal with the potential buyers for the amount discussed.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Yeah, it's passed. We have to
Yeah, it's just that motion approving the overall deal structure.
of 8.25. Do we have a motion?
I'll make,
Go ahead.
I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second?
what's the motion?
Wait,
To approve the overall deal structure
Or 8.8, right?
all right, I'll make the motion.
with further.
Approve the overall deal structure of 8.4.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Okay, we have the loan for the.
Well, we should exit that IDA and open the LDC.
Oh, okay. All right, is there anything else to come before the board for the IDA? Have a motion to close?
Motion.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Carries. Now we're gonna open LDC. We have a motion for approval of the minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, carried. Do we have a motion for financials?
Make a motion, we approve, LDC financials as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Okay, anything else in there before we go to the two loans?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. We have a motion on the caboose.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, we have second.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Carried. On the Pony Restaurant? There's Pony Corporation?
Ponies, period, ponies, period.
Okay. Is there a motion on the Pony?
Period.
What?
You said pony. He said pony.
Okay, period.
I'll make the motion,
Is there a second?
because if it's a game situation,
Second.
I'm going with these two.
Yeah.
It's split.
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Carried. Okay, so now we need to open the local development report.
We need to,
Close
Oh,
this.
we need to close the LDC.
Motion to close. The LDC.
Oh, wait, no, we have a couple there. No, we approved the draft minutes and the financials already.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
we did.
Yeah, so we have a motion to close the LDC.
Motion to close.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, now we need a motion to open the local development corporation.
No,
We just did that.
CRC.
Capital resource.
Yeah, I had them at a bit
Oh,
order
yeah.
on the agenda. I apologize. I'm not used to the
All right.
CRC yet.
We need a motion to open the Delaware County Capital Reserve Corporation.
Motion to open.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Carried. We have a motion to approve the draft minutes of June 27th.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Review of the public.
Yeah, so the review of the public hearing is my bad. I sent it to, because a lot of things have happened this week. So we had it, we had the hearing on Tuesday. There were 6 people in attendance, 1 a reporter, 2 from DVH, and 3 from the public. 2 people spoke. One guy referenced an issue with a neighboring piece of property causing stormwater issues that's irrelevant to this project. And one said that she was highly in favor of the DVH project and expansion and hoped that that the bond issuance was approved.
The reporter had this all in paper with them.
Yeah, Liz was there.
And the one gentleman who spoke was concerned about the parking lot, which hasn't even had its public hearing yet, so that's for the future.
Right.
So, yeah, so that one, all right?
All right. And then, sorry, but I got the resolutions yesterday and I realized I failed to load them, or at least I didn't see them. So there's two resolutions. One is related to, seeker. And the seeker resolution, states that, so that we received the application and, the village board has issued a negative declaration. And so what we're saying in this resolution is that the Delaware County Capital Resource Corporation, determines that we have no information to suggest that the village board was incorrect in determining that the project will not have a significant impact upon the environment according to seeker. And that I am authorized to notify the village board that we agree with their position as lead agency.
Okay, now, does that vote have to be a roll call?
Yes.
Okay. So do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
One of them are second. All right, Glenn, you have the roll call list in front of you, if you want to do that.
Yeah, sure. Wayne,
Yes.
Scott is absent. Bruce,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Noel,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
and Florida is absent. So that is motion carried.
Okay, and the second resolution?
The second resolution is the approval resolution. And it states that all right, this is a long one, I apologize. So what we're saying is that we are properly organized and able to enter into this transaction, which our attorney says we are. That we are authorized to enter the documents necessary to complete the transaction, that the Delaware County Capital Resource Corporation agrees to the issuance of up to $70 million in tax exempt bonds in support of the DVH project, and will undertake undertake any actions or sign any documents necessary to implement the issuance of the bonds. And that is also a roll call vote. But first we would need a first and a second vote.
Okay, so do we have a motion?
Motion.
Do we have a second? Any discussion? All those in favor say, oh, no, do the roll call, Glenn.
Yep.
Sorry.
Wayne,
Yes.
all right, Scott's absent. Bruce,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Noel,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
and Florita's absent. Motion carried. So just an update for moving forward is that everybody is guns a-blazes to close. Well, it's in Walton, so everything happens around this time, right around Fair Week. So, hopefully we'll be able to keep on track with that. So, yes, documents are already flying all over.
All right, so is there anything else to come before the Delaware County Capital? Okay, do we get a motion for adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
So.
Any discussion? We're adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Wayne.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you. Appreciate it.